Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll discuss about some basic data types in Python, and they're listed here and down in the headline of the video. You can see the data types here, the integer, the float, the string, the boolean, the non-type. So before getting to the basics of this video, I will tell you about mutable and immutable types. So a mutable type is in Python is a mutable object in Python is an object which can be created, which can be changed after it's created. A mutable object in Python is the one that be changed after it's created. So I use comments here, and you can see my previous videos to know more about these comments. So these are about the mutable types in Python. So the immutable types are just the reverse. So an immutable object in Python is the one that cannot be changed after it's created. This was about mutable and immutable objects. So I just introduced you, I go to the Python shell, and I introduce you to this new type function, built-in function. So I get to a new, that was the old, the first shell, and I'm in a new shell now, and I type function. So this is a built-in function. I will discuss the function in a later video. So this type function just returns what type of things are, whatever input is, the whatever data type is its input. So I just input something in it, 65, 36. So it's an int. Anybody can guess this. This is a whole number, a natural number, or an integer. It's many of those, but we call it an int in programming. So and the integer is denoted by int, and this is the class int. We will discover classes also in later videos. So this was int. I give so some more examples in here. So a is equal to 56. Then I say that f equals 90, and then a equals f. So here I want to tell you people something more about the assignments. In assignments, before writing, I just want you people to pay attention here. In assignments, we have the right hand side. Here in this we have an assignment. A variable is assigned to the value of another variable. So here the right hand side of the equation will be evaluated first. So the f will be evaluated first, which is 90, and then it is going to be assigned to the LHS, that is a. So f is evaluated as 90, and then it is going to be assigned to a. So a is equal to 90 is the assignment. In assignments, the RHS is evaluated first, and then the LHS. So this was an important note. So this is the note, and you should it and commit it to your memory just now, because this is a very common source of bugs. So now a is assigned the value 90, so a is reset to 90. Now a is equal to 90. So Now we print A, so it must print 90. I run this code. Control F5 is the shortcut for running code. So 90. It printed as we guessed, and I should print F also. F is 90 as we all see here. So I again run this code. So 90 90. So far so good. And now this integer is denoted by int, as I told you through the name. It includes only integers, as in mathematics, and they have an unlimited precision. One example is here, as I shown you here. One example is here, and so we move to the next type. This is float. So in float type, they are just decimals. Like I assign an s, a value 45, 54.45. So this is a decimal, and a decimal is equivalent to float. Or you can just consider that the float is just a decimal. So I confirm you guys by the type function 67.67. So this is a float. Now a major confusion in the arithmetic operations, I set W equal to 45 divided by 9. So this must return a integer, because the quotient is an integer. But this is not the case in division, because this is true division. This is floating point division, and it will definitely return a float. So when I type of W, it will print float, and show you guys truly what the program did. I just print W. So you can see that the result is not an integer but a float. It's 5.0, and yes, the 5.0 is an integer if I remove that 0.0 there. But in programming, it's a very hardcore thing. So even if you type a 0.0, it will consider this as a float. So for 4.0 is also a float. Some more examples, like type of once again, like type of 36 something, and 0.0 is again a float. Okay, so this was a very annoying confusion I had in my code. I had a day debugging that code, and I just found that the error was here because it divided it floating point division. It did floating point division. So if you want the quotient to be an integer, so you have to do integer division. So I said I equal to 45 divided by 9. So this is there. I have this arithmetic operation, or a float division, or the integer division. So this will return an integer. If you want to know more about it, you can watch my previous video. I have discussed about this in my previous video. So print I. This is 5, and this is an integer. And one more information about integer and float. Both of them are mutable types. Means both of them can be changed after they are created. Okay, so let's move on to the next. Strings. Strings are very, very commonly used, and you cannot. I certainly can tell you that you cannot find any code without the use of strings. So I set a string f equals to eat. So this is a string in Python. So you can assign a string to a variable. I've assigned f a string eat, and when I print it, those quotation marks are off. Eat. This 1990 I printed because of my previous code which I have written there. So this eat is printed. This is the result of this code here. This print statement has resulted in the code in the output. The output that is eat. So only the quotation marks are off, and the string is printed as it is. I'll make a different video on strings because they have many things such as case, statement, or format, many functions in them. So I'll make a different video on this tutorial. So the strings, they are immutable type. They are a sequence of characters. So you can slice strings. I will tell you in this video. I will tell you about slicing strings. Like I have typed eat. So here, each and every letter in eat is indexed. E is indexed to 0, and then A is indexed to 1, and T is indexed to 2. So this is the index. So these are the indexes. E is indexed to 0, A is to 1, and T is to 2. Okay. So how do I access it? I just write F, the string name, square braces, and the index. The index is 0. So I have returned eat. So I have to print this. So I print so that I can prove to you guys that it truly returned a eat. Truly returned E of eat. So I run this code. So E. So yes, these are the indexes, and you can access whole strings. You can slice them. You can access some part of them, like from index 1 to the index, let's say the 1. Let's say I have to print EA, so I print. So this code will not print EA when I run it and show it to you. It will print E because this character here, this one here, is excluded. And this is a very important thing, and you should again commit it to your memory. When I type braces and something like A to B, A is included, and B is excluded. Okay, so this is also a very common source of bugs. So you should commit it to a memory. If I want to type EA, so I have to write 2. So that 2 is excluded and 0 and 1 are included. So when I run this code, so you can see that it has printed EA. Okay, so this was about slicing of strings. I will teach you about slicing of lists when I will teach you. So this was about the slicing of strings. There's one more argument that you can pass. These numbers that I have passed here are arguments. So I increase one more argument, but I will need a much bigger string for that. So I declare a bigger string like my name. My name. So this is a string. So I want to access the 0 index and to the 4th index. So I will just print that G, that's the string name, and then braces, then the starting point 0, and the ending point, that is 4, so we have to type 5. So if I want every second character to be printed here, so I type 2, that is step. So I type the sequence in which the arguments are passed. So we have curly braces, I have the start, a second, just start, I have end, and in the last I have step. So it will print every second character. So I show it to you. It has to print M, Y, and A. So let's see what it will print. It has printed M, N, A, M, N, M. So it's correct. M, N, and M. So that's a correct code. So this was our step. So now Boolean, and yeah, this strings are immutable types. So Boolean is nothing. It's just true or false. True. So you can see that the true is highlighted because it's something inbuilt. It's a value which can be assigned to some variables. And now false. These are two values of booleans. So if I print them, A, B, so it's either true and false because I said either true or false. And Boolean, I will teach you about Boolean logic in other videos. We have many things like and, or, in, and others. We have things like this, and these are very important. These are called Boolean logics when we apply them. So I will teach you them in other video, not for the context of this video. So this was now so far so good. Now I can also, this is a mutable type, so I can also transform it. I can transform A to false and then run this code. So you can see false, false. The A variable was assigned true, now it's assigned false, so it has printed false. Now non-type, this is now triggering to the end. This is non-type, and it's like by non. One of the most boring type of data, the non-keyword is used to define a null variable. And not to give any example now, you see it by usage. Even I can write that non. It highlights, and I can assign it to a variable. So if I print A, so I go on, I print A, so it has printed non. So non is a null variable or object, or an object. You can also call an object a non. In Python, non keyword is an object, and it's a data type of the class non-type. We can assign non to any variable, but you cannot create other non-type objects. Now we will discuss this in other videos. This was much for this video, but before ending this, I want to discuss this code with you. I have told you this code. I have shown you this code in previous videos, and now I want to explain what this does. Here is an x variable which adds 3 numbers. Here is a y variable which subtracts 2 numbers. Z is a variable which multiplies 2 numbers. W is a variable which divides